Hello, my friend. Let me tell you a quick story that might sound all too familiar. Linda, a 68-year-old retired schoolteacher from Ohio, used to dread getting out of bed in the morning. Every step was a painful reminder that her hip wasn't what it used to be. The ache would start as a dull throb in the evening and grow into something unbearable by bedtime. She tried stretches, heating pads, pain relievers, you name it. Nothing worked. Until her doctor asked her one simple question. "What are you eating for dinner?" At first it sounded odd. What does dinner have to do with hip pain? But when Linda made one small change, just stopped eating one specific food at night, everything shifted. Within days, the pain started to ease. After 2 weeks, she was walking more freely, sleeping through the night, and feeling like herself again. This video is not just about Linda. It's about you too. If you've ever struggled to get comfortable in bed, cancelled plans because of joint pain, or felt like your body was aging faster than your spirit. It's about those of us who have done everything right, only to be sabotaged by something as simple as what we put on our plate. Many seniors don't realize that certain common dinner foods, especially ones we think are harmless or even healthy, can quietly trigger inflammation, especially in the hips, knees, and lower back. These foods sneak into our nightly routine and rob us of comfort, movement, and peace. The hip joint in particular takes a beating. It supports our body weight all day, and by evening it's crying out for rest and recovery. But if we unknowingly fuel inflammation at dinner, we're interrupting the body's natural healing cycle. That's when discomfort sets in, mobility declines, and sleep becomes restless. But here's the good news. You have more power than you think. Sometimes relief doesn't come from a new medication or therapy, but from removing a quiet offender on your plate. If you've been living with chronic hip pain, don't give up hope. In today's video, we'll uncover the one food you should stop eating at dinner, explain the science behind how it causes harm, and show you what to eat instead, so you can move freely, sleep deeply, and wake up pain-free, because you deserve to feel good in your body. And it starts with a single decision. What's for dinner tonight? Are you ready to find out what Linda and so many others stopped eating to finally feel better? Let's begin. The simple science behind hip pain and inflammation. Hip pain in older adults is incredibly common, but what's less known is how deeply our evening meals can influence that pain. While many assume it's just old age catching up, there's often something more preventable at play: chronic inflammation driven by what we eat. Let's break it down simply. The hip is a ball and socket joint, built to bear weight, allow flexibility, and support motion. As we age, the cartilage in this joint can wear down, leading to conditions like osteoarthritis or bursitis. But what makes these conditions worse and more painful is when inflammation builds up. Inflammation isn't always bad. It's your body's natural healing response. But when it becomes chronic due to poor diet, stress, or inactivity, it stops helping and starts hurting. Now here's the critical part. Your dinner can either calm inflammation or fuel it. Many people unknowingly eat pro-inflammatory foods in the evening, like processed meats, sugary desserts, or starchy sides. These foods are often high in omega-6 fatty acids, trans fats, and refined sugars, which stimulate the release of inflammatory molecules called cytokines. These cytokines circulate through your blood and settle in vulnerable joints, especially the hips, which already bear much of your body's weight throughout the day. At night, your body is supposed to repair. While you sleep, it works hard to reduce inflammation, rebuild cartilage, and restore mobility. But if you've just eaten a meal full of triggers, it's like throwing fuel on the fire. Instead of healing, the inflammation continues to smolder, causing stiffness, soreness, and a rough start to the next day. There's also a hormone connection. Eating certain foods late at night, especially those with high sugar content, spikes insulin, which in turn increases levels of pro-inflammatory markers like CRP, C-reactive protein. This leads to higher levels of pain, especially in joints that are already compromised. Let's not forget digestion. After 60, digestion slows down. If your dinner is heavy and inflammatory, your body has to work overtime to break it down, often disrupting sleep, circulation, and tissue repair. Poor gut health, in turn, triggers more inflammation, especially in areas like the hips, lower back, and knees. You may not feel the effects immediately, but over time these nightly choices compound. The discomfort that greets you in the morning, that's often a delayed message from last night's dinner. But here's the empowering truth. This pain isn't inevitable. Scientific studies now show that reducing or eliminating pro-inflammatory foods, especially at night, can significantly reduce joint pain, improve sleep quality, and support better mobility in older adults. When you give your body the right kind of fuel in the evening, you allow it to heal rather than fight. And that's what this video is here to show you. In the next section, we'll look at the exact foods you should avoid, and more importantly, what to eat instead to soothe inflammation, nourish your joints, and help you reclaim the ease of movement that you may have thought was gone for good. Let's move from knowledge to action. Let's help your hips feel strong again, starting tonight. 1. Stop eating processed meats at dinner. If there's one dinner habit that could be quietly wrecking your hips, it's this: eating processed meats like bacon, sausages, ham, hot dogs, or deli cold cuts. These meats are convenient. They're easy to fry up, slice into a sandwich, or add to a salad. But beneath the surface, they carry a dangerous load of preservatives, sodium, saturated fat, and inflammatory compounds like nitrites and advanced glycation end products, AGs. When consumed, especially at dinner, these substances spark inflammation in the body, particularly in joints that are already overworked or degenerating. AGs, for example, are toxins that form when meat is cooked at high temperatures or processed with chemicals. Studies show that AGs trigger an immune response in the body, promoting chronic inflammation that settles in the hips, knees, and lower back. The more frequently you eat them, the more they build up. Additionally, the high sodium content in processed meats causes water retention, leading to swelling in joints and increased stiffness. And when your body's trying to rest and recover overnight, these inflammatory compounds keep it on high alert, delaying repair and intensifying pain come morning. Many seniors find that when they eliminate processed meats from their evening meals, even without changing anything else, they start waking up with less soreness, more flexibility, and fewer nighttime aches. Your body wants to heal. It just needs a break from the hidden culprits. So tonight, take a look at your plate. If it includes processed meats, swap them out for something cleaner and gentler on your joints. Your hips will thank you tomorrow. 2. Avoid sugary desserts at night. It might be comforting to end your dinner with a slice of cake, a bowl of ice cream, or a couple of cookies. But if you're dealing with hip pain, these sweet treats may be doing more harm than good. Sugar is one of the biggest drivers of silent inflammation in the body. When you consume refined sugar, especially in the form of desserts, it causes your blood sugar to spike rapidly. In response, your body produces more insulin, and this cascade of hormonal activity leads to the release of inflammatory cytokines, the very compounds that make your joints stiff, swollen, and achy. For seniors, this process is even more pronounced. As we age, our metabolism slows, and our ability to process sugars efficiently decreases. This means even small amounts of dessert can lead to prolonged inflammation, especially if eaten close to bedtime. Sugary foods also disrupt your body's natural overnight healing cycle. Instead of focusing on tissue repair and reducing joint inflammation while you sleep, your body gets sidetracked trying to manage excess glucose and insulin. As a result, you may wake up feeling tired, inflamed, and in more pain than when you went to bed. In fact, many seniors report that just removing dessert from dinner or moving it to earlier in the day leads to improved sleep and noticeable relief in hip pain within days. And if you still crave something sweet, try a small piece of dark chocolate, a handful of berries, or a warm herbal tea with cinnamon. It's not about giving up sweetness. It's about choosing the kind that supports your joints, not sabotages them. 3. Reduce refined carbs at dinner. Many classic comfort dinners include white bread, pasta, white rice, or mashed potatoes. But these refined carbohydrates can quietly be fueling hip inflammation while you sleep. Refined carbs are stripped of their natural fiber, vitamins and minerals. When you eat them, especially in the evening, they are quickly converted into sugar in the bloodstream, leading to spikes in blood glucose and insulin. This chain reaction stokes the body's inflammatory response, especially harmful for aging joints that already experience wear and tear. Unlike complex carbs found in whole grains or vegetables, refined carbs provide little nourishment and trigger repeated cycles of inflammation, particularly around joints like the hips. Over time, these spikes contribute to insulin resistance and elevated levels of C-reactive protein, CRP, a blood marker strongly linked to chronic joint pain and stiffness. For older adults who are already dealing with reduced mobility or joint discomfort, this creates a painful cycle. You eat a seemingly harmless bowl of pasta or a dinner roll, feel heavy or swollen the next day, and blame it on aging, when the real issue may be dinner itself. The good news is, cutting back on refined carbs in the evening is a simple shift that can deliver real relief. Try replacing white rice with quinoa, pasta with roasted vegetables, or bread with a leafy green salad. These swaps help stabilize blood sugar, lower inflammation, and give your joints a break. You don't have to give up carbs entirely, just be smarter about the kind and timing. Your hips will reward you with greater flexibility and fewer painful nights. 4. Instead, eat anti-inflammatory dinners. Once you've cleared your dinner plate of inflammation triggers, the next step is to nourish your body with foods that actively soothe your joints. These aren't just healthy foods in a general sense. They're scientifically proven to reduce inflammation, support cartilage, and promote healing, especially in weight-bearing joints like the hips. Let's start with wild-caught salmon or sardines. These fatty fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which help block inflammatory molecules and reduce morning stiffness. Just 2 servings a week have been shown to lower joint pain in seniors and support better range of motion. Next, fill half your plate with leafy greens like spinach, kale, or arugula. These are packed with antioxidants, fiber, magnesium, and vitamin K, all of which play a role in reducing inflammation and maintaining healthy bones and joints. Add a dash of turmeric to your dishes. This golden spice contains curcumin, a compound shown to be as effective as some over-the-counter anti-inflammatories in reducing joint pain. When paired with black pepper, its absorption increases dramatically. And don't forget healthy fats. A spoonful of extra virgin olive oil drizzled on vegetables or a side of avocado adds monounsaturated fats that support joint lubrication and overall heart health. Making your dinner anti-inflammatory doesn't mean bland or boring. It means thoughtful healing choices. By eating a meal that works with your body, not against it, you give your hips the rest and recovery they've been craving. With each bite, you're not just fueling your body, you're building a foundation for pain-free movement and restful sleep. 5. Drink warm herbal tea. What you sip with or after dinner can be just as important as what's on your plate, especially when it comes to joint health. Many seniors unknowingly sabotage their evenings by drinking sugary sodas, fruit juices, or sweetened iced teas with their meals. These beverages might seem harmless, but they're often loaded with added sugars, artificial ingredients, and caffeine, which can all fuel inflammation and disrupt sleep. Sugary drinks spike blood sugar, just like desserts and refined carbs, causing the release of inflammatory messengers in the body. For those already managing joint pain, particularly in the hips, this creates an invisible storm of stiffness and swelling overnight. Plus, the caffeine and carbonation in sodas can interfere with deep sleep, which is crucial for the body's natural joint repair process. Now here's a gentler alternative, a warm cup of herbal tea. Teas like ginger, turmeric and chamomile offer powerful anti-inflammatory and calming properties. Ginger tea can ease muscle soreness and boost circulation. Turmeric tea, when brewed with black pepper, helps reduce joint pain at the molecular level. And chamomile doesn't just help you unwind, it actually supports deeper, more restorative sleep. Drinking a warm, soothing beverage in the evening also helps signal to your nervous system that it's time to relax. This natural wind-down ritual encourages better digestion, lower stress hormones, and a more peaceful mind, all of which contribute to less inflammation and reduced hip discomfort. So the next time you're reaching for a can of soda or a sugary drink after dinner, consider brewing a healing cup of tea instead. Small swaps like this can create big changes in how you feel the next morning. Reclaiming comfort and movement. Let's return to Linda's story, the woman who, for 2 long years, accepted her hip pain as just a normal part of getting older. She masked the discomfort with over-the-counter medications, tried sleeping on different mattresses, even attempted Tai Chi. But nothing truly touched the ache that lived deep in her hip. Then came that conversation. One question from her doctor. "Tell me about your dinner routine." That moment changed everything. Linda had a habit of ending her evening with a grilled ham and cheese sandwich, a small soda, and sometimes a cookie. It seemed innocent. After all, she'd eaten like that for years. But once she learned about the inflammatory effects of processed meats, refined bread, sugary drinks, and desserts, she decided to try something different. She swapped the ham for grilled salmon, the white bread for leafy greens, the soda for a cup of turmeric tea. Just a few days later, she noticed something surprising. She was waking up without that familiar stiffness. She could bend over more easily. She didn't need to prop herself up with pillows at night. And perhaps most importantly, she felt hopeful, because the pain that once ruled her life was finally loosening its grip. You might be like Linda. Maybe you've chalked up your hip pain to age, genetics, or bad luck. Maybe you've resigned yourself to moving slower, hurting more, or sitting out of activities you used to love. But I want to tell you something deeply important. Pain is not always permanent, and aging doesn't have to mean suffering. Sometimes all it takes is a shift in awareness, seeing that what we eat, especially in the evening, isn't just feeding hunger. It's feeding or fighting inflammation. And you get to choose which one. Your body has the incredible ability to heal, to rebuild, to restore comfort, but only if you give it the right conditions. Removing a single food from your dinner routine can be the key that unlocks better sleep, gentler mornings, and a renewed sense of freedom in your movement. Imagine waking up and swinging your legs out of bed without a wince. Taking a morning walk without that slow, limping start. Laughing with grandkids, gardening, or simply enjoying a peaceful night's rest. Because the pain is finally fading. You deserve that. Not someday, but starting today. So take a moment to reflect. What's on your plate tonight? Could removing just one item change the way your body feels tomorrow? Linda's transformation began with one decision. Yours can too. Now that you understand how powerful your dinner choices can be, it's time to take action. Not next week, not after your next doctor's visit, but tonight. Start by taking a quiet moment before dinner. Look at your plate and ask yourself, is this food helping my body heal, or is it quietly making things worse? If you see processed meats, refined carbs, sugary drinks, or desserts, don't panic. You don't need to throw everything away or overhaul your life overnight. Simply try swapping one of those items for something better. Grilled fish instead of bacon, quinoa instead of white rice, a cup of herbal tea instead of soda. Even the smallest change can send a powerful signal to your body. I'm listening. I want to heal. To make this change easier, consider keeping a simple dinner journal for the next 7 days. Write down what you eat in the evening and how your body feels the next morning. Are your hips less stiff? Is your sleep more restful? Are you able to move a little more freely? Over time, patterns will emerge, and they will speak louder than any theory. Your body is constantly giving you feedback. You just need to start paying attention. And remember, you're not alone. So many people in our ElderSpark community have made these same changes and seen dramatic results. They're living proof that age is not a barrier to healing. It's an invitation to live more wisely, more gently, more intentionally. If this video resonated with you, please share it with a friend, a spouse, or someone you care about who's also struggling with joint pain. Let's help more people discover that true comfort might be just one dinner decision away. And if you'd like more tips on anti-inflammatory eating, natural joint relief, and the best movement routines for seniors, subscribe to our channel. We're here to walk this journey with you, step by strong, pain-free step. Let's quickly recap. Your hip pain may not be just old age. It could be fueled by what's on your dinner plate. By removing processed meats, sugary desserts, refined carbs, and sweetened drinks, and replacing them with anti-inflammatory foods like salmon, leafy greens, turmeric, and warm herbal teas, you give your joints the break they need to heal. Even one small change, just one swap at dinner, can lead to real relief, better sleep, and more comfortable mornings. So tonight, make a conscious choice. Your body is ready to heal. You just have to give it the chance. You're never too old to feel better. And sometimes the first step isn't medicine, it's the meal. Stay strong, stay curious, and always believe in your body's ability to improve, because healing can start on your dinner plate.